Hey guys, welcome back to JD Mods. Ali and I are going on a little road trip today. You probably know by the title of this video, but I'm going to be purchasing another car. This one's a bit of a project car. Unlike Ali's G35 that replaced the RSX, this isn't replacing anything. I'm definitely not going to sell my Aristo, and I need my Civic for the winter. So this car is just a fun little project. I have no idea what it's going to turn into, but we decided to vlog our little trip today. It's a nice day. We have a few things going on, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and let's go get a new car. Alright guys, so it's a little while later now. We're down here. We're about an hour south of where we live, and we just picked up our car. I didn't show much of the vlog of picking up the car because we were in a bit of a hurry. So was the guy we were buying it from, but you can see it's right there on the trailer. And no, you can't say it from that way, but it is loaded on the trailer, and I guess we'll show you a little bit more maybe if we stop to get gas, and of course we'll show it unloading when we get home. Alright, so we made a quick pit stop. I'll give you guys a quick rundown outside the car, and then once we get home we'll go over in more detail. But this is my 1991 Toyota MR2 that I bought. It's a Canadian left-hand drive car, and it's the turbocharged manual model with a leather interior. So it is the top of the line MR2. It was originally red, they painted it yellow. It needs some body work, which I'll go over in a little bit later on this video. But for now, let's go ahead and do a quick walk around. Alright, let's do a quick preliminary walk around while it's on the trailer. I'll be able to show you guys the rust underside of it as well. So as you can see, it was kind of poorly painted yellow. It's not the greatest paint job. You can see the red chipping from underneath the spoiler. First, let me show you guys the condition of the body, and then we'll get into the interior and the engine when I get home. So one of the bad rust spots is the bottom of the passenger door. You can see it's starting to eat through right there, and it's crying down on the paint. The seam weld isn't terrible, or the pinch weld, sorry. You can see it's not terrible the entire length of the car. And the frame and the floorboards aren't terrible either. There's one hole by the rear tire, which I'll show you guys right now, which is something that I will have to look into fixing, of course. Here we are at the back of the car. You can see the cross member just has minor surface rust. Quite easy fix if you ask me. You can kind of see some more of the floor. There's just basically just a lot of surface rust, no major rot that I can tell right now. The trunk has some rust just on the seam right here, nothing major. The engine cover is pretty clean. Going around this side here, there's a little bit of rust that's breaking through on the wheel arch, the fender, or the rear quarter, whatever you want to call it. But down here and the back as well is pretty clean. They're not rotted out, which is a bit of a surprise for me. And then the pinch weld is about the same on this side, just a bunch of minor surface rust in my opinion. And the frame on this side is decent as well. Looking towards the front, just a bit more surface rust as well. The front fenders are in good condition, and the hood is actually in really good condition as well. So I've made it home with my 1991 Toyota MR2 Turbo, and I was waiting for the weather to get nicer, but it's just not going to. So let's go ahead and do the walk around now. And then at the end of the video, I will tell you what I paid for the car and what I'm planning to do with it in the end when I'm done building it. So I kind of showed you guys the exterior already on the trailer. So I think for now that's kind of, you get the gist of that. So let's go ahead and take a look inside all the doors. So the interior, with the exception of the very obviously ripped seat, is pretty good condition. So I will need to replace probably both the seats while I'm in here. This is a leather interior, which is the top of the line trim model. Has an aftermarket stereo. Looks like it's just a Kenwood deck. I realized just yesterday that it has these aftermarket speed hut gauges. They're very good condition, and there's a boost gauge up here where I believe the stock version had a battery gauge. I guess I'll just get right into it. The clutch pedal is broken, or something attached to the clutch pedal like the slave cylinder or master cylinder, as it does not work. The steering wheel, you can see, is a little worn, but that's kind of expected. The door cards are in decent condition in my opinion. The center console is there, except the turbo models had kind of a cup holder storage compartment kind of thing, CD compartment some people call it, back there, which unfortunately I am missing. And aside from that, the interior is pretty self-explanatory. Nothing super crazy going on there. So I'm hoping to get some new seats, floor mats, pretty much just bring her back to stock in super clean form. Let's go ahead and pop the hood, even though there's no engine under it. We'll pop the trunk, and we will also, back here, pop the actual engine cover. As you can see, your little MR2 engine cover logo right there. So let me show you guys under all these surfaces what we have. This is underneath the hood. As you can see, I've got a spare tire. You can clearly see the car used to be red, which I will be fixing in the future, making it one uniform color, either yellow or red. I'm not too sure yet. Other than that, you can tell the shock towers are free of rust, which is very good for these cars. Nothing much else to say under there, other than the fact that it's very springy. Both the pop-up headlights work perfectly, which I was quite surprised about. I guess next up we can do the trunk. It's not super exciting. I peeled back the carpet and there is no rust underneath. Of course, red paint again, but no rust. The underside of the trunk lid is very good condition. Not much rust except for the lip I showed you guys right here. Alright, it's starting to rain pretty good now, so let's just dive right in and take a look at underneath the engine cover. So here is the engine. This is a Generation 2 3S GT engine. Basically just a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged motor. There's the turbo back there. It's actually out of gas right now because I bought it with almost no gas in it, but it runs like a dream, as I will show you guys in a future video, of course. Also, the rear shock towers are in great condition on both sides. And yeah, pretty much just a stock 3S GTE by the looks of it. I haven't done much reading or looking into this motor specifically, but it's all there. Of course, it also has the turbo transmission. Hopefully nothing's wrong with the transmission. But that is basically the only problem with this car. The clutch doesn't really go in, doesn't go into gear, and when you start it, put it in gear and let off the clutch, it still runs. So I'm hoping the input shaft isn't broken, but worst case, I have to drop the trans and look into it. Other than that, you saw the body work that it will need. Also, it doesn't have working brakes right now. Well, they do work, but I think we need to do some new rotors and pads, maybe rebuild the calipers. Aside from that, that is the entire walk around of my 1991 Toyota MR2. Now, I know you guys all want to know how much I paid for it, so I'll just go ahead and say I paid 3,000 Canadian for this car. It supposedly has 196,000 kilometers. Could be rolled, I still have to look at the Carfax. But at the end of the day, nowadays that is a great price for a 91, or any year, sorry, an SW20 turbo left-hand drive with leather. It's pretty much the top of the line spec. I wish it was a later, like 93 plus, but we can't win them all. And aside from that, I hope you guys like my purchase. In the future, I'm basically going to be doing a restoration on this. Minimal modifications, maybe a blow-off valve, turbo timer, stuff like that. But no crazy swaps or anything right now, because these are only going up in value, and I really want to try and maintain this value as much as it can. Let me know down below what kind of color you guys would like to see it painted. I actually really like the yellow. I might just do a better job painting it, but my second choice would be red. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to see. And thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.